Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very interesting review impressions of a knife that I had a chance to check out. This is a really cool one. This is a prototype that came in from Divo Knives and finally got a chance to look at it. This is a slip joint. This is called the Barley. We did an unboxing of this one and now I get a chance to give you a little more thoughts on after handling it. Excuse me. You know, let's get into this because this is something really special, especially for me because this might be the knife that has converted me to a slip joint, at least this one, all right? I'm not necessarily saying all slip joints, but at least this one is very, very interesting for me. So let's talk about this. All right, so the knife name is the Barley. It is an exclusive through Urban EDC. You notice the Sagai pattern here, and that's very typical of Urban EDC. There are three versions of this that you can look at. One doesn't, I think one doesn't have the Sagai pattern. Another one is a plain titanium. Another one is like a black one or something like that. I believe that's what it is. We can double check. I'll have the link down in the description, of course. All right, the manufacturer, no one really says what it is. There's speculation that it could be Riot, it could be Bestech. I mean, it could even be QSP. If you look at QSP's come out with a really incredible slip joint recently that is actually pretty competitive and has some, you know, really good features on there. So I don't know. I really don't know. I can tell you that the quality is outstanding, simply outstanding. Now the price point, I believe the pre-order was like $200, $199, and I think when it comes out and it's released, it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess $230, $240, something like that. I don't know. I don't know officially. Check out Urban EDC, look at their website. You can confirm that, and again, I'll have the link down below. But for the quality of what you get on this knife, I think it's absolutely justified, okay? So the designer, Divo Knives, which is a collaboration between Kevin from Lefty EDC and then Colin, I think his E&M Designs or D&M, I forget his link, but he's a knife designer, very prolific knife designer. And you know, Divo has come up with a bunch of designs. They had the Stout version 2, the Pony Stout, they had the Buzz, just the Mash, what is it, the Nip. There's a whole bunch more out there, just really, really great knives and that really sell out and do quite well. This is no exception. I am not a slip joint fan. I'll just say up front, I am not a slip joint fan. I don't own any slip joints. I've never wanted to buy slip joints until this. So spoiler, this one will convert me if I can get a hold of one. That's the problem. Because it's so amazing, I have a feeling this is going to be hard to find. Even when it does come in, I believe it's supposed to be early 2024. That's the anticipated drop date. That's if you pre-ordered, you'd get yours, and then they would have available quantity available online. My fear is that it's going to sell out pretty quick because this is just pretty friggin' phenomenal. I don't know how else to put it. I'm really blown away by this thing. Okay, so let's talk about it. The handle material, titanium scales. This is the Sagai pattern, so you get the blue anodization that has the Sagai pattern, and if that's your cup of tea, you definitely will enjoy that. We don't really have any milling on the inside, but it's a pretty thin piece of titanium. It does have a steel backstop, as you can see. So that's a steel backstop, which makes sense because the way slip joints work, you see how that comes up. That's how it works. That's the locking mechanism there for the walk and talk, right? So, but the tolerances are so tight, you can see how perfectly that is. All right, so this is a nice scales, really, really nice scales. Chamfered all the way around, which I think is phenomenal. All T8 screw hardware, which, you know, for slip joints, traditionally they're pins and they're hammered in, you can never take them apart. This is, you can take this apart. You can disassemble this. So you can clean the slip joint and reassemble it, which I think is pretty phenomenal. I think that's really, really cool, right? It has a pivot and it has some screws for the body and everything goes together really, really well. I like that. I like that a lot. It also has a lanyard loop here in the back, so if you wanted to, you know, use the lanyard, you could. And for slip joints, I mean, I guess that makes more sense to have a lanyard at times. I think that would make logical sense, right? So that's the material. The blade itself is M390 blade steel. It's a very thin edge. We'll do some measurements here in a second and get those in there. But I mean, the action is phenomenal. It has this half stop that's just really solid. So once you go past the half stop, locks in really, really solid. You can see that closes right back, opens up to the half stop, and then all the way open. Not only is this a nice flat grind, you've got a little nail nick, a full nail nick, not the traditional kind of ugly looking nail nick, but this is a full one that's very functional. It got a lot of grip, so you can use your hand anywhere. It's got some traction there, which to me makes this just so friendly, so useful. I mean, if you're gonna have a slip joint, that's the key right there to me, right? So it opens and closes with this half stop, right? That's how you open and close it. So that, I think, is phenomenal. One of the things that really blows me away about this, oh, by the way, this is the leather sheath that comes with it. Typically, slip joints will have a little leather slip that you put them into, thus what you call a slip joint, right? So you put it in there. Not exactly sure how it's supposed to go in. I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm guessing that's how it's supposed to go in. Anyways, but nice leather sheet, really, really nicely stitched and patterned. I like this a lot. I think it's really nice. Genuine leather. Definitely going to have some nice patina once you start carrying this, so definitely worthwhile. One thing that really, really blew me away about this knife that has kind of enticed me over all other slip joints is it has this finger choil, and it's a generous finger choil. A very useful finger choil. And to me, one of the things I don't like about slip joints is they can close, right? You can come up here and push them down and it could close and guillotine on your fingers. This finger choil, to me, serves the very purpose and takes away the concern I have a lot of times with slip joints, is if my knife does start to collapse here, I have a finger that can stop that. And I think that's phenomenal. So for me, I think that is just great. Because I think, you know, having that, it just allows for a bit of safety, a bit of comfort and contour and shape that you really, really need there in your knife. So to me, I have a lot of positives about that. This makes it a very comfortable, very useful, it's very thin, and we'll measure that, and so very functional slip joint. I like that a lot. Loctite, it is just a typical slip joint. It uses this back kind of a tension, if you will, bar that pulls it in to close it. And then when you open it, it's what keeps it open, but it's not locked in place. There's no lock that you have to release, right? It's purely the pressure of that back bar right there that keeps it open and keeps it closed. And it works really nicely. It's very solid, okay? It's not loose, anything like that. You're not actually gonna just tap it. It's gonna suddenly just pop closed or something and cut your finger. So that's nice. So it is a slip joint lock. That's what it is. It's a slip joint. So there's really no lock. It's just a tension. So let's talk a little bit about the weights and measurements. So let me get my tools over here, at least my scale. So we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and close it, make it a little easier to measure. So let's see, how much does this weigh? So it's 2.44 ounces. Super, super light for such a small knife. 2.43 ounces. Let's see what it weighs in the leather sheath with it. So 2.83 ounces, right? So 0.4 ounces for the leather sheets, the leather sheath, whatever you call it, sheath, right? So not bad at all. I think that's pretty phenomenal. All right, so let's look at the measurements. So it's not super small either, which I really do appreciate. I mean, it's not big. You don't traditionally want a giant slip joint, right? But it's not super small. So overall length of this one, it's just under 7 inches. I'm gonna say we are right at 6 3/4 inches, maybe a hair over 6 3/4 inches, but I'm going to call it 6 3/4 inches. Now, the overall handle, like here, if you just did this handle, that's 3 1/4 inches, maybe 3 But if you do the finger choil, which I believe is absolutely intentional and very functional and not dangerous to use at all, which is because it's such a generous one, you get up to 4 4 1/8 of an inch, which is great. I have large hands, so my large hands, I can get this on here, plenty of room, so extra large, double extra large hands actually can use this, I think, very functionally, and that's really nice. I like that a lot. So there's that. All right, let's measure the length of the blade. So the blade itself is going to be right at 2 inches, maybe 2 and, I don't know, could we say 9/16? Maybe 2 and 9/16, I guess. Maybe not. But if you go from the very tip of the blade to the very top of the handle, which is sometimes what some people will measure, you're still at, I want to say, 2 7/8. Yeah, 2 7/8. So it's definitely under the 3 inches, which is nice. Right, that gets you into a certain area. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this open because it's such a thin blade, so we can get a nice measurement on our blade stock thickness. Let's go ahead and measure that. So we're at 86 thousandths of an inch, 86 thousandths of an inch, 0.086. It's a very thin blade, which is awesome. Less than 1/10, significantly less than 1/10 of an inch. So this is a thin, very slicey edge. It's going to have a very nice sharp edge. M390 blade steel will work really, really well. It would be a great slicer, which is exactly what you'd want with a slip joint, especially if you're cutting apple, fruit, you know, little things that you do with a slip joint, some letters and envelopes, boxes. This thing is going to be very, very functional. All right, so let's talk about the knife category. So this is definitely going to be what I would call into the regular knives. It's under $300 and it's over $100. And even with the pre-order and the non-pre-order, you're still in a regular category. And I think it's a good buy. It's a good buy for materials, for quality, for craftsmanship. This is phenomenal. For design, I think it's just a really heck of a deal. Yeah, and I do like the Sagai pattern a lot. At first, I wasn't really digging the blue, and I really wanted the plain one, but I like the texture. It's really nice. Really, it really is done well. And I think I could probably get into that. So I wish I had a plain tie one with a Sagai pattern. That would have been ideal for me. But, you know, beggars can't be choosy, and if I can get one, I'm going to get one, right? All right, so what's the purpose? EDC, absolutely EDC. Now it's a different type of EDC. You don't have a clip. You're not going to be out there, you know, whipping it out one-handed, closing it. This is a two-handed operation knife, right? You're going to open this with two hands. That's what it's meant to be. It's not really going to be a single one. Could you close it one hand? You can. The danger with that is it's so strong when it flips, you could lose it out of your hand, right? So I always recommend this is a two-handed job. Make sure your fingers are out of the way, clear to the path when it comes down. You don't want to cut your fingers, right? Can it be hard use for slip joint purposes? Yeah, hard use slip joint purposes. This is not meant to be, you know, cutting logs and branches and things like that. It's not meant to demolition logs, you know, and you hammer at the back of it. This is meant to be a slip joint, a knife you carry in your pocket for light duty. And so in that regard of slip joint and duty, I'd say hard use in the sense of light duty hard use, right? So absolutely. And what I mean by hard use, like, you know, using it all the time and for lots of different things, I think it's great. Hard use, you know, bang up and cut things and bend and no, none of that. Use the right tool for the thing, right? Is it a collection piece? I think so. It's really nice. And some people can collect whatever they want, but this is right on that border of, you know, not being collection and being collection, but it's such a nice design that I think it's worthwhile being a collection piece. And I do hope they make more of it and have a version 2 and you know, this is not it, because this, to me, this aesthetics of a slip joint, this is going to pull me in. I think it might pull a lot of other people in too, who've been kind of on the fence with slip joints. The slip joint fad craze has really been going on. A lot of people have been really getting into it. There's a lot of different things out there. Jack Wolf has had some QSP, traditional pocket knives, has really been pushing a bunch of different things that are great quality stuff. Really fantastic to see that. But this design itself is what really appeals to me. I've got to be straight up. So I'm giving you a heads up, right? So let's talk about the design, the ergonomics and the feel. The design is great. Chamfered all the way around, no sharp points anywhere. It's really comfortable. This is nicely chamfered right here. There's no sharp edges here. The finger choil is very functional. It's not dangerous. It's not coming up to cut you. You have plenty of room right here to be clear of that, right, for what your purpose is. You have the finger choil in case you accidentally break that. It's going to stop. Your finger is going to be able to stop that from cutting you. If you're doing a hard cut and you happen to pull back, it's going to at least have that to kind of mitigate your risk of cut, right? So risk of injury. And I like that. I like that a lot. I think that is what a good slip joint to me, for what I like, is going to be. You know, this is what I'm looking for, right? Opening and closing, fantastic. I mean, I hear the walk and talk, and I think the walk is the open and then the talk is the close or something. I forget. Maybe I've got it backwards. But it's beautiful. It works really nice. It's very strong. That mid-stop is just solid. It has a good stop right there. So really nicely in place. And then it's a solid close. It's just fantastic. I like that a lot. So opening and closing is superb for a slip joint. And I really like the fact this long nail neck, and you know, you've got plenty to grab. I mean, this makes this a very easy slip joint to open and close and to you know, actuate, to open and close. It's just really great. Fidget factor. Well, slip joints aren't going to be massively fidgety, right? But I mean, I got to tell you, I fidgeted more with a slip joint than I've fidgeted with any slip joint ever in my life. It is just really useful. I like it. I like this a lot. Texture, everything. Yeah, it's fidgetable. So what's my fidget factor scale going to be on this one? Typically a slip joint I would think is a 1, but I've handled some other slip joints and they are 1s. This, because of that being the bar for what a 1 is, this is going to be a 2.
And it's a merit kind of meritorious kind of a earning because it's just done so well. The design, everything is just fantastic. I really, really like this. It just works well, and it works well for what I like and how I want to use a knife. So to me, I enjoy that. Especially you got big meaty fingers, you want something that you can easily open and close, and this does it. So the Fidget Factory gets a 2. So as far as fidgety goodness, now this is a scale on slip joints. I can't give it a folding knife, a frame lock, a liner lock, a bolster lock, or any of those, a compression lock. I can't give any of those. I can't compare that to that because it's a totally different type of knife. It'd be like comparing a fixed blade to that, and it's not fair, right? They're each a different purpose. But as far as the few slip joints I've handled, and I've handled some really nice slip joints, I really have. There's been some great ones. I've handled 3 or 4 really outstanding ones I've very much enjoyed. And, even if you go back to the traditional, Swiss Army knife slip joint kind of version there, this is going to be 100%. I mean, as far as slip joint fidgety goodness for that too, it's 100%. It doesn't get better than this, okay? And I've handled Jack Wolf knives, and they're 100% in their slip joint fidgety goodness as well. But this is up there. It's right up there. That's the quality of this knife. I wish I'd gotten in on the pre-order in this one. Such a good knife. If I'd handled this before the pre-order had either closed or sold out, I absolutely would have ordered this. You know me, I don't like to pre-order anything. So that's a big thumbs up from me. All right, so what are my overall thoughts on this? Is it recommended? Yeah, 100%. 100% recommend. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up for that. It's that good. And a matter of fact, I've reached out to Kevin and I said, man, dude, this is amazing. I'm not a slip joint guy. This is converting me. Dude, you and Colin designed something that's absolutely converting me to slip joints. You blew me away. And that's what this is. This is a blow me away type of design. I mean, just look at this. Right here, it comes to this very edge, it goes right over, so you're nice and clear. All the tolerance, everything's so tightly designed. I appreciate this from aesthetic and an engineering and a logical and symmetrical kind of perspective. There's just so many little scratches in my brain that are being done by this slip joint that it's crazy. I love it. I love it. So yeah, this is great. This is absolutely going to be recommended. I think if you can get a hold of one, you should. I just ask you, let me get one first. And if you do get one before me, buy one and let me buy the extra one from you, because I need to get this one. I do. This is one of those knives that I need to get in my collection. It's great. It's great. I hope we get more designs like this. I really like this. And to me, it's just the design, the shape and everything is what I like. So there you go. So let's take a little quick look up, kind of close look at it so you can appreciate the knife itself, because you want to see the blade. Let me make sure I get the focus in there. Come on, focus. Actually, let me zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. Let's look at the handle. Let's flip it over. Look at the handle over there. The blade there. Look at the upside. You can see, kind of get the inside there. And we look at the back side. You can see the tolerance is there, especially where it connects right there. It's almost invisible because it's done so well. Really outstanding. All right. So that is the, oops, no, I went a little too close. That is the Divo Knives Urban EDC exclusive Barley slip joint knife. Definitely go check it out. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about the knife, about the review, about the channel, please comment down below. I do try to respond and engage everyone in my comments. One of the things I really like to do, especially as the channel is a little smaller, I know as we grow, might be more challenging, but I really do try to respond to everybody. I appreciate you guys. So if you haven't had a chance, maybe, would you consider liking this video? And if you've already liked the video, would you also consider maybe subscribing to the video? Subscribing and liking the videos really, really helps out the channel a lot, especially if you found this, fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative. If you find it like that, subscribing and liking the videos, it goes a long way, and I very, very much appreciate that. And if you haven't already, maybe hit the notification button so you can be notified of future content. And to all my channel subscribers, thank you. Members, excuse me, all my channel members, channel subscribers, I appreciate every one of you. Just know that you guys are awesome. As we get close, we grow and about to hit 3K. Who knows? By the time this video drops, maybe we've passed it, and that would be awesome. But that's thanks to you awesome subscribers, but also to my members. And if you didn't know, you can be a member. Look down in the description. If you want to help out the channel, you want to help by becoming a member, I would greatly appreciate that. Allows me to do more things, allows the channel to grow, allows me to get hold of more knives, more things for review, even for more giveaways. A lot of times, any money I make on this channel, it goes to all my giveaways. It pays for most of them. It doesn't quite cover everything, I still got shipping and all that stuff, but I do this because I love knives. I love this channel, and I hope as it grows at some point, it can get to the point where we can get there, right? Where it's no longer, a sacrifice, but it's able to help that, and then I can be more generous and we can do more things. That's my ultimate hope. So if you want to be a member and join, thank you to those members who are already members. You guys are awesome. I really, really appreciate you. Every one of you. Thank you. Hey, if you haven't already, maybe check me out over on Instagram as soon as I can find my card, right? Here we go. Check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.